just a hack. He's just an absolute hack. And he gets his ass kicked by his teammates every week. It's just, it's terrible. It's just terrible.
Welcome back to another episode of the Believe in NFL Draft Prospects podcast. I'm Joe DeLeone, joined by Ryan Roberts and Alex Gilstrap. We are doing our ultimate team for the 2022 NFL Draft. And if you're wondering what the heck, wait, did I say 2022, 2023 NFL Draft? If you're thinking, what the heck is that? What are we talking about? A couple of years ago, a few drafts ago, we did an exercise where we selected a team, and based on where they are drafted eventually in that particular draft class, there are certain levels of scoring that go with it. And we're just trying to overall pick the highest drafted team that we can get. This is an idea that Ryan concocted, is a fun exercise and something fun that we're going to put out while I am on my break. But how you guys doing today?
Good, man. Good. I'm ready to after a year off, I'm ready to defend my title. So I am juiced, Joe. Juiced.
Still no congratulations to Alex on his baby, but congrats, Alex. Ryan's just so focused on the game.
I said congratulations in the text yesterday. I don't have Instagram anymore, so I had no idea the announcement happened.
Yeah, I hadn't moved it on to Twitter.
Alex.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, congratulations, Alex. And I don't know why Joe's being this person right now.
Just gonna say, of course, when you're dating, you talk about these things like timetables and stuff. So we knew we wanted to be youngish parents, and we weren't one of those people that were like, I want to travel for the first 5 years of marriage before settling down and starting a family. So this is about the timetable we expected. About a year in. So.
No,
Alex, enjoy your good back while you can, sir. It's not going to be great in the near future.
That's your own doing if you have a bad back, but
that's true. It's true.
All right, let's get into the ultimate team. Before we do, though, folks, I just want to tell you about Bet Online. My bankroll is back down to $4 because I'm bad at betting. That's just the short gist of it. Not going to provide any explanation. Our partners at Bet Online continue to be the number one source for all of your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest odds, news, and sports developments, including NBA Summer League, which is over, Major League Baseball, and latest fighting news, and even next season's early NFL futures. Head to their website or use your mobile device to sign up today to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE to get the bonus and get in on the action. Bet Online, where the game starts. All right, as I said, we are drafting with a intent of having the highest drafted team overall on average. The way that the scoring for this works, there are particular point values provided for what round and spot these guys are selected. So just a quick run through: 1 point for 7th round, 2 points for 6th round, 3 points for 5th round, 4 points for 4th round, 6 points for 3rd round, 8 points for 2nd round, 10 for 1st round, and then 12 for a top 10 pick, 14 for a top 5 pick. And then if you have the first overall selection, you get 16 points. With that in mind, Alex is picking first. Ryan will be picking second. I will be picking third, and we will be going in a snake draft order. Alex, the floor is yours, brother.
All right. Well, I came into this not realizing we're doing the ultimate team today, so caught off guard a little bit. Didn't do any prep, so this is going to be just from the hip. But the new rules you explained, which we didn't have in place last time we did this, where having the first overall pick matters versus the top 10 pick, I think that is what's ultimately going to push me in this direction. And I'm going to start off with who I think is a 50-50 chance on going first overall. And it is, if it's not a quarterback, it's this player. It's Will Anderson from Alabama. That's my first pick.
I knew you were going to do that.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's a certified top 5 guy. Quarterbacks have more, obviously, volatility. Someone could come out of nowhere like a Zach Wilson that we've seen in years past. Though I do think Stroud and Bryce Young are definitely going to be fighting for that number 1 overall pick with Will Anderson. Which one of those quarterbacks is a question mark? So might as well go with the other side of that coin flip.
It's a good pick. I'm going to be very honest with this one. Actually, no, I'm not going to be honest because then I will give you a little bit of my strategy. I was between 2 players. Will Anderson was number 1. So Alex got him. I'm going to go with Jalen Carter with my.
So I was hoping he came back to me.
Yeah. So he is a player that in this class, I'm just trying to project where I think he would finish. There are other talented players like a Brian Bresee, like a Gervion Dexter, like Kalijah Cansey, but I think the difference between those players and Jalen Carter is a little bit of a chasm. So I am going to take Jalen Carter because I think that he is head and shoulders the best defensive tackle and a top 5 player in this class right now.
So since both of you guys took the 2 defensive players that are the most likely to be top 5 picks, I think I need to try and knock off not who I think is going to be the first quarterback taken, but who likely will be the first quarterback taken. And I think if he is the first quarterback selected, this player will probably be the first overall pick. So I'm taking CJ Stroud with that hope that I get the bonus points of him being the first guy selected overall. But just based on the traits, I think that we can agree that NFL teams are going to be in love with CJ Stroud as a prospect. Hopefully this doesn't have a Justin Fields type drop off in draft projection because someone launches themselves ahead of him. But I'm going to protect myself with Stroud here.
Okay. And you have another pick, right, Joe?
Oh, I am
back to back.
That is correct. I am back to back. Oh God, you guys made this already very, very tricky because you took like the 2 biggest locks to go in those spots. God damn. This is really tricky.
Man, I was hoping Jalen Carter got back to me. I should have known.
Shit or get off the pot, Joe. Let's go.
I'm going to take my first edge prospect. I'm going to go with Miles Murphy.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Miles Murphy.
I don't know. My reasoning, I think
wrong.
Shit, Sherlock. You don't need to.
He's still
I don't need the. I don't need. I don't care.
There's no E.
I don't need the conjecture on spelling, buddy. I know that you were an English major. You could go and fix it after. I'm going with Miles Murphy here. I think he's either 2 or 3 for the edge rankings for most people. He's one of the safer picks, I would argue, for this edge group. Just was trying to think of somebody who could end up being a top 10 pick.
That's fair. Joe, Michael Mayer, tight end, Notre Dame.
Dang,
second
you're playing
pick.
this game well, Ryan. You're playing it well.
I just think the separation right now. I mean, could Eric Gilbert make a rise? Sure. But I just think right now that Michael Mayer is head and shoulders tight end 1 in this class and a first-round caliber player. So I'm taking the guys that I think have the most separation between 1 and 2 right now.
No, you're playing this game perfect.
Alex has back-to-back, man. This is going to be interesting, Alex.
Yeah, 1 pick I know for sure. I don't want to have the Joe of the 2020 draft problem where he gets stuck with quarterback 3, the 3rd choice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take just because there's so many question marks. Like probably Will Levis is the 3rd quarterback, like as far as projecting out, but he could go day 3 for all we know when it's all said and done. So I'm just gonna go ahead and secure up Bryce Young to feel good about that position. Give myself the opportunity at another top 5 pick. And now a question mark. Michael Mayer was going to be the other until you sniped me there. Looking at different positions, defensive line is just too big of a question mark. I don't want to touch that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Are we calling it guard and center, or are we calling interior offensive line?
Interior.
Okay,
Yep.
well that kind of
wait. No. It's just we're just doing offensive line. We're doing
just one offensive
lineman?
lineman?
Just one offensive lineman.
That's dumb.
I'll wait.
You're dumb.
That opens the floor up quite a bit. I'm stuck between 2 players here. Sorry, I'm taking my time. I know.
I already know who my pick is. I already know. So take your time, Alex.
Of course you do.
Okay.
Of course I do.
You know what? I'm going to take the security at this position. Bijan Robinson, running back 1. I feel like if there's someone that's going to be a running back that goes in the first round, it's Bijan. So I'm going to get those extra points at that position.
I hate you.
Is that who you're thinking?
Yeah, that's what I was going to take. So now I have to backpedal a little bit. Luckily, Alex, I'm actually okay with taking quarterback 3 in this class, actually. So
for you.
I am going to wait on Will Levis. I do not have to make that pick until my last pick because you guys don't have a quarterback left. So here's a curveball, Joe. You ready for this one?
Mm-hmm.
Cornerback, Kaylee Ringo.
That's what I was that was the other player I was thinking between, so I like it.
I don't know how to spell that. Is it
Kelee and then Ringo, last name.
Ringo was my my other decision.
So there's some people that are going to like Eli Ricks, and then there's going to be the Garrett Williams of the world. There's going to be
Cam Smith.
a lot of play. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of guys that are going to be thrown out there. I think Kaylee Ringo has the cleanest projection as far as being he's going to be a multi-year starter in the SEC. He's going to run the 4.3s. He's going to be 6'2". Like, okay. Yep. Kaylee Ringo.
Okay. Based on that one I was not expecting.
Yep.
I would like to keep this trend that I've been going for, trying to select the first guy in each position group, the one linebacker who is the most likely to be a first top 10 pick. I'm going to go Trenton Simpson. At the very least, I think Trenton Simpson is a first rounder in this upcoming draft. Probably one of the safer prospects that we've evaluated.
I don't think you're wrong there. I don't think you're wrong. I'm interested, though, Joe, in this next one where you're going to go, because you have like no offensive players so far.
I do not have any offensive players.
Well, you have
and
CJ.
Outside of Stroud.
I'm going to try to keep it that way, and I want to go with oh, man. This is tricky because I want to go with Brian Brzee here, but I also, there's a very limited offensive line selection, and I think that if I take the one guy that everybody is going to be fiending over, I have an advantage. So, you know what? I'm going to go offensive line. I'm going to go with Peter Skoronski from Northwestern.
Interesting.
And you get the benefit. Oh, no, it's not. I don't give a shit. The spelling of it. I think with Skoronski, you get the benefit of, is he a guard? Is he a tackle? Fully on that decision and on that evaluation of him, I'm knocking out both wherever he ends up getting drafted.
So, like Alex said before, that he doesn't want to be stuck with the third quarterback. I don't want to be stuck with the third offensive lineman. So I'm taking Paris Johnson Jr. from Ohio State. I think he has top 10 pick upside. I mean,
Yeah.
We'll see, though. We'll see. But yeah.
Yeah. That was a good pick. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Defensive line can go a couple ways. What do I have? I still need linebacker. Difference between 2 and 3 is not a big deal to me. Corner. Keeley's off the board. Who's CB2? Question mark there. Should I take the number 1 safety? Haven't watched too much safety film, so I'm not 100% sure.
Quit telling yourself.
Yeah. So obviously, there's a couple guys at the top I know of. I've watched before. I don't feel comfortable enough with that. Do I just build an all-star team and just go with wide receiver 1? Let's have some fun.
I guess it depends who your wide receiver 1 is.
Yeah. Brian Brzee.
Is that who you're taking?
Too many question marks. No, I'm not.
Okay.
I am taking officially. I'm sorry I've been stalling, but I am going to take. He's going to go in the first round, going to Alabama. Eli Ricks, Alabama.
Got some off-field concerns, sir. Got some off-field concerns.
Everyone's got off-the-field concerns if you ask the right person.
Sure.
All right, you're back up, Alex.
Oh, I forgot I had 2.
All right, another tea break. Let's take it.
Sorry. Let's just go with my other thought. Okay. I'm going Keishawn Butte. He's a certified first rounder. I think.
See, I'm gonna. Yeah, no. Keishawn Butte is my number 1 wide receiver. I think for me, again, I'm going to go back to my wells. I don't want wide receiver 3 in this class, so I am going to take Jackson Smith and Jigba here out of Ohio State as my wide receiver.
See, I'm not afraid of wide receiver 3 because I'm eventually going to take. I'm going to eventually take Jordan Addison because there's going to be a lot of receivers that go in the first round. At the very least, someone like Jordan Addison is going to be a second-round pick. But at the very least, he's going to be a second-round pick. I think he's going to have a really good season, and statistically, he's going to do well enough that an NFL team is going to draft him early.
Hey, you should be taking notes right now with how I schooled you 2 years ago in this game, all right?
No, but I wasn't doing evaluations at the time. So you were beating up on a kid who had no idea what he was doing because I didn't do any evaluations.
I'm going to keep teaching him. We're going to keep teaching him.
But Brian Brzee is going to be my selection because there is a pretty massive drop-off at defensive tackle in my eyes. You're probably going to end up taking Keanu Benton, I'm assuming, but I would like to knock out Brian Brzee from Clemson. If he hits, he is going to be a highly drafted kid. I think even with the injury concerns, if he doesn't play this season the entire year because of another injury, someone's still going to take a flyer on him in day 2. That then lines me back up to be in a position where, do I want to take the first safety? Do I want to take the second tight end to screw over Alex? There's a huge question mark at tight end too, and I don't want to be the one making that decision, so I will allow Alex to overthink that one. Hand me Brandon Joseph from Notre Dame.
Wow. So you think Brandon Joseph's safety 1, huh?
I think it's possible. I haven't watched enough of the safeties like Alex admitted to, but I like Brandon Joseph. See, Alex, you're admitting way too much, my friend.
Hey, we'll see.
All right. Oh man, I love how my board's falling to me, Joe. I feel like I'm in a fantasy draft right now, and I just know that my team's kick ass. Running back, Jahmyr Gibbs.
God
Alabama.
damn it. You were going to do that.
I feel like running back 2 is a question mark, though. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs is my running back 2 as well, but like you could convince me that
I just didn't want to have to pick between like Tank Bigsby and like
Zach Evans.
Zach Evans, who also has off the field stuff. Like, yeah,
fair enough.
I think Jahmyr's a little cleaner than those guys. So
fair enough. So what positions do I have that I'm don't need to take? So offensive line, you've both taken, so I don't need to touch that. Defensive tackle, y'all both taken. I don't have to touch it. Tight end, me and Joe are playing the chicken game here.
It might behoove you to take a linebacker.
Behoove me?
It might
no. Oh,
you.
yeah. No, that was going to be one of my picks. I was just figuring out what the other position was that I was going after. So I'll go ahead and take linebacker. And despite me having him personally ranked lower than another guy on this board, I'm going to go with elite traits here. I'm going to go Noah Sewell from Oregon. And then
that was going to be my next pick, by the way. That was going to be my next pick.
Well, I'm glad I did that to you. So tight end or safety is really what my decision comes down to here. I know what Jordan Battle is, and he's okay. He's solid. He's a good football player.
Sure.
I'm gonna go with I've seen just clips of him. Haven't watched him in depth, but I'm gonna continue to play chicken with you, Joe. So I'm gonna go Antonio Johnson, Texas A&M safety.
Good pick, man. It's a good pick.
I just know I know there's traits there. I haven't watched him in depthly. I know that this is a size speed kind of guy. In depthly.
We're making words up today.
In depthly. All right, so let me take a look at my board now.
Do your damage.
I have quarterback 3 locked up. I have safety 3 locked up. I have linebacker 3 locked up, and I have edge 3 locked up. So I'm not playing a game anymore, man.
Yeah,
it's just
you
who I want to pick at this
take
point.
over the
Yeah. So I'm going to pick who I want at this point. So edge, I'm going to take. Let me just make sure I'm comfortable with this pick before I do it. Yes, I am. I will take Isaiah Foskey from Notre Dame as my edge.
Yeah.
Probably could have guessed.
Get him this late. Yeah.
Can you just write my players down? Like I know who exactly I'm going to get at each spot.
No, that completely ruins the entertainment of the game. Okay.
Okay.
The last remaining bit that I need to play is, do I take the next tight end? I don't want to be in the circumstance where I draft a guy who doesn't even enter the class. So Jaleel, my debate right now between two guys are, one's a former Alabama tight end, one's a current Alabama tight end. Cam Latu or Jaleel Billingsley. So it's who do I think has the, I want the steadiest guy, because this tight end class has a lot of volatility after you get past Michael Mayer.
Let's do it.
You know what? I'm going to do Jaleel. I'm going to do Jaleel Billingsley.
Wow.
I'm going to hope that he has a big ceiling and he has a big season.
You know I like Billingsley, man, but there is a lot of volatility to that pick right now, sir.
I know that there is a lot of volatility. That slots me back up. Doesn't really matter who I take at this point. I'm going to knock off my first cornerback that I will be selecting. Let's go with Cam Smith from South Carolina.
All right.
You're a hater.
Oh man, I've the threes at every position now. I wonder where I'm going to go. I'm going to go Henry Toto, Alabama at linebacker.
Yep. I'm going to continue
One word.
think.
2 words.
2 words. Shit.
There you go.
All right. I'm going to go defensive tackle because I made the comment after you, Joe, select Brian Brzee. I feel really confident for some reason. This might be just gut feeling while recording. I think Gervon Dexter is going to be a first rounder, so I feel comfortable with that.
Wow.
I just think, traits, size, frame, like that's some of the stuff that's going to be sought after. And I think this is someone that is going to light up the combine. The measurements, people are going to be wowed on day one of the combine, and he's going to be SEC playing big time ball. That's someone I'm building an SEC team right now. I just realized too.
Yeah, you have like the almost all SEC team if we count
Bijan Robinson. Yeah. Not really.
Team.
Alex is a homer.
Yeah. Noah Sewell's are really the only true. Bijan Robinson's not technically SEC right now.
Ryan, you have 2 Notre Dame players, so I don't know how much room you have to talk on the homerism.
Yeah, I don't have a Georgia player, do I? No, I got
tight end. I got tight end 1 and then edge 3, Joe. Relax. It'll be all right.
Let's see. All right, I'm gonna. Tight end is tough, Joe. I see what you're saying. So we're playing. You get 0 points if they don't declare.
If they don't declare, well, yeah. How the hell would that work? You don't get to just pick another guy.
You should get negative points if they don't declare.
The declaration thing shouldn't impact you, but I would argue if they go undrafted, you should receive negative points.
Fair.
Do we want to write that into the rule?
Yeah,
book?
-2 if they go undrafted.
Okay.
Oh wow. Well, my only so I would go with one of the Georgia guys on the board, but neither one's going to be the starting tight end. So do they get enough exposure to come out early? Eric Gilbert will be really his first year of college football. Upsides there, but I can't take -2 points.
I also added one additional fold while you're thinking, Alex. I thought this. If the player somehow goes completely unsigned, he is a -10. Which I don't think that's going to happen to any of us.
Never going to happen.
I hope we don't do that.
I would argue if maybe if it's like a Marvin Wilson where he gets signed and then cut, that's considerably the same thing as unsigned because he's not on a roster or training or a practice squad. I think is pretty similar to that.
Yeah.
All right, Alex, you got your wait. Oh, you got 2 picks left.
Yeah. Come on, Alex.
Okay. No. Y'all were talking, so I was just letting y'all go.
Yeah,
I feel like a safety net at tight end that I can go with.
Safe.
Yeah, safe. I think he's going to be drafted in the middle rounds because of his receiving ability. Dalton Kincaid from Utah.
I like Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah, I'm big on being anti Sam Laporta. I just don't think he's that good.
I don't think he's good
Former San Diego Torado or whatever the heck their mascot is.
Yurosic's a junior. Gilbert and Darnell Washington. You got Tucker Kraft, but he has another year of eligibility. I just want to get someone that I know is going to be drafted.
Tucker's coming out.
Yeah,
Tucker's
probably.
coming out.
Probably.
He's told us that he's coming
out. He told me and he also told Ryan, which was kind of funny.
I missed that. So y'all keep going.
It's all right. All right, Joe, another one of my third off the board guys. So here we go. I'm going to go Jordan Battle, safety, Alabama.
Controversial. Controversial. Jeez.
Dude, my team is – dude, I have nothing but major programs for my team, so I'm there. I'm there with it.
Let's have some fun and take my running back 3. I'm going to take Deuce Vaughn.
Dude, that's such a bad pick, Joe.
Why is that a bad pick?
He's not going to be the third running back off the board. He's too small. I love him. You know I love him. I talked him up all week, but
he's going to declare. And then give me my boy Jordan Addison. Wide receiver 1 will be selected as the first wide receiver next to Devontae Smith.
Oh God,
it's going to break all kinds of records this year.
All right, is your team done then?
My team is done.
Right,
you have one more bad pick. Hendon Hooker.
Will Levis, quarterback, Kentucky, which I'm fine with because I wouldn't be
he goes
shocked if
back.
Will Levis is like quarterback 2 when everything is said and done, but we'll see. The NFL loves him, Joe. He's got first-round grades everywhere, man.
Yeah, apparently. Alex.
Yep, I'm gonna go because you're balancing the senior, junior, redshirt, sophomore thing. I'm gonna go with Blake Freeland. I think he's top 50 pick, and he's a senior.
Freeland. It's my guy.
Yeah, I mean he's top 50 pick for sure, and he's a senior. I feel as good about that as I can.
Okay. All of our teams are complete. Final thoughts from each of you on the team that you selected.
My team's the best. I mean,
Hey, let's get a little more analysis than that, bud.
I feel good about my picks. There were some positions that I targeted early that I thought that there was a discrepancy between who the first player was and who the second player was. So I went more for the volatility at top and trying to go for the guy that I think is more of a sure thing. And then there were some positions where I just settled for the third player off the board because I wasn't that worried about it. So like Will Levis, quarterback 3 off the board. Isaiah Foskey was the edge 3 off the board. Henry To'oTo'o was the third linebacker off the board. And then Jordan Battle was the third safety off the board. And all those guys, I think when you look at it, it's like Levis is an SEC player. You have Isaiah Foskey, who plays at Notre Dame. You had Henry To'oTo'o, who's another Alabama guy, and then Jordan Battle, who's also from Alabama. So I went with the high school, with the high caliber players from big programs because that's usually who goes high. So I wasn't that worried about getting the 3s at that spot.
I feel like there is, strangely enough, there actually is kind of some safety to having that third pick amongst the group. And then also, Ryan, it actually kind of helped you having that middle pick because I think
you can play the turn.
I hate it. I hated that middle pick, if I'm being honest.
But having the back-to-back, it kind of puts you in this position of like, do I want to take the first guy in this position group because I have another pick to follow it up? But your team is more balanced. Your team, I think, is arguably the most balanced.
Yeah, is the best one.
It's not the best one. It's the most balanced.
Yeah, Ryan, I really do think that Michael Mayer probably should have been drafted earlier. Looking back on it, just the difference you're talking about, because that's important in this game, is the difference you can get at positional. Michael Mayer versus our 2 tight ends looks great for you.
Ryan, my one argument to you though is the benefit that Alex and I have is that we at least have guys that are likely to be or potentially could be first overall picks. I guess you can make that argument with Jalen Carter, but like he's a defensive tackle, so like what are the chances that actually happens?
That's 5 to 10, yeah.
But I think the volatility for me is what separates my team, if I'm being honest, because it's like, well, Levis is probably going to go Levis is probably going to go first rounds. Jahmyr Gibbs is probably a second rounder. Jackson Smith-Njigba was probably going first round. Mayer, first round. Paris Johnson, first round. Jalen Carter, first round. Isaiah Foskey, possibly first round. Henry To'oTo'o, probably second to third round pick. Kaylee Ringo, first round, potentially. Jordan Battle, second round. So I just don't think I would be surprised if any of my guys fell like far into day 3, or definitely I don't think I'll have a UDFA on this team, but we'll see what happens, I guess.
Alex, thoughts on your team?
Yeah, no, I really like my team. The point you mentioned, Joe, I have 2 of the top 3 favorites to go number 1 overall. And with that, likely 2 guys that are going to be in the top 5 of next year's draft, which with the way our point system works, I really, really like. I think I have a huge positional advantage in a couple areas, especially running back. Just because running back, you typically see one guy's going to go in the first round, and then you're going to get a slew of guys on day 2. And I'm willing to put money on Bijan Robinson being that running back on day 1. So I think the point difference at that position is going to be substantial. I kind of wish I would have prioritized. I feel like I have a lot of volatility at defensive tackle with Gervin Dexter versus y'all have a little bit more, the thing with Brazil with the injury history. I didn't prioritize him as much as I probably should have, because I was a little scared of the injuries and how that can push a guy down if things don't check out. So overall, I feel pretty good about it. I feel like I have a couple positions I wish I would have targeted differently, but having a few guys at the top that I feel really, really confident in, and all coming from big programs for the most part on my team. SEC bias is heavy in my selections. I like my team. I'm confident.
The
You know
one
what I
thing,
just realized?
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
just realized, Joe, you're a hack, dude. You didn't pick any FCS guys. It's crazy.
What? Okay, how many FCS guys are projected to go in the first round? The top guy that's projected is Tucker Kraft, and like, where do you want to? I could have taken him a tight end. That doesn't make me a hack.
Taken Tucker Kraft. You should have taken Tucker Kraft.
Doesn't make me a hack. The one thing with
your guys' tight ends is like so volatile. Man.
Yeah.
Billingsley and Kincaid, like even Kincaid. Alex, I thought you were going to take Laporta, even though you're not a fan, just because like I feel like the NFL is going to like Laporta.
I would argue with Billingsley though, if he has a slight step up in production, which he's going to have a better year. He's got Quinn Ewers. He's got back paired up with his offensive coordinator that he had his best year with Steve Sarkisian. I think there's a good chance that Billingsley does well. The one thing I like about my team is I feel like there's spots where I have high potential for it to be the first guy selected in those position groups. Talking about CJ Stroud, there's a possibility, maybe not a high likelihood for what you guys think with Jordan Addison. I think there's a high likelihood with Skoronski to be the first just lineman in general selected. Brian Brzee not going to be the first one taken, but safer pick than I think Alex is willing to project. Trenton Simpson, I think, is a near lock to be the first linebacker. And the last one, Brandon Joseph, is strong consideration to be the first safety. So a lot of those positions put me in a good spot. The only two that I am not that confident in are Deuce Vaughn and Cam Smith, simply because of Cam Smith. I haven't watched him. I just know that he's big.
Smith.
What do you think?
Cam Smith.
Bad?
I'm not telling you. We still have to bring him down. I'm not telling you.
Okay, fine. And Alex has disconnected his mic again. Good note to wrap us up on. Technical difficulties. It is vacation week. At Joe DeLeone, at Rise and Draft, at Alex Gilstrap, at NFL Prospects Pod. We'll talk to you later, folks. Enjoy the rest of your week.